This is the 1 month overview reading for UPST for the month of August 2022. It's currently August 1st, 11:59 p.m. That's Eastern Time. So the overall theme and behavior, we have a profit taking from an overbought crest, and it's crossed with an opportunity to position oneself in both directions. I'm not sure if there's probably options for UPST at this point. Let me see. Yeah. So this is Upstart Holdings, by the way. So volatility. There's going to be volatility, so an ability to position oneself in both directions, make some money in both directions, that sort of stuff. The behavior around the high, we have a U-shaped dip that takes place near two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. There's also a trade opportunity around the high, the month's high, where we move up through resistance level, we stay there briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level. And we have a male leader highlighted around the low. As well as the behavior around the low, likely to be something along the lines of sideways rotation with a bullish sentiment that increases in momentum and bullish sentiment moving forward out of the high, or out of the low, excuse me. It looks like we all have the following month, there's an opportunity in the midst of a decline, a notable decline, to open up long positions. All right, so we start off the month with a failed attempt to break through a resistance level that we're expecting to break through. We don't break through, we turn around, we reverse and break down through a support level. On the second, there's the majority behavior around the second is going to be sideways movement, bumping up along resistance levels. There's going to be one local high and one local low on the second. And by local high and local low, I mean on a one-day chart for the second, we're going to have one prominent high and one prominent low. Out of the prominent low on the second, there's going to be a breakout, notable breakout. It'll stand out. And then into the low, into the high, there's going to be a notable move to the upside. It looks like maybe even the beginning of it's going to be a notable move higher on a one-day chart. And if I misworded myself when I was talking about the low, out of the low, there's going to be a breakout, and it'll stand out on a one-day chart. On the third, we in the midst of a decline, we have an opportunity to open up long positions. There's a day trade opportunity in here and two local lows. So on a one-day chart, we have, out of one of the local lows, we have a notable move, a fast, sudden move to the upside, which will stand out. The other local low will be a prominent reversal. It'll stand out on a one-day chart, a prominent reversal there. And the two trades, one trade will take place near a important resistance level when volatility and volume kind of like flatten out. The other trade involves a big move from the bottom of a range to the top of the range, but that move up starts out of a decline. Around the fourth, we have notable decline off of, looks like we probably have a crest here. There's a chance of a crest here on the fourth or fifth, and it would be like off of a crest we have a decline. It's kind of like a vague feeling of a crest here. And then on the fifth, we have a cross correlation to the Princess of Swords card. So we have opportunity here to open up a position in the midst of volatility to position oneself in both directions. On the 8th, we have a swing trade opportunity in the midst of a big move to the upside. Likely we open up lower than we closed on the 5th, and we move out of oversold territory much higher, or we move higher to fill a gap down. On the 9th, there's a vague sense of a prominent trough here. So there'll be sideways fluctuations around the 9th with a bearish trend, but that precedes an incline or a rally. One local high on the one-day chart for the 9th It'll form around an attempt to turn that high into support, and there's a swing trade opportunity there on the 9th. I guess to close out of the trade from the 8th, and that'll involve an important resistance level where we flatten out, or important price level, technical price level, that where we flatten out as far as volatility and volume. Looks like we have a good trade opportunity at a low. So overnight on the 9th, 10th, there's a decline when we push higher in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. Around the low, there's a cash out opportunity. So look out for a low there between like the 9th and 10th. Look out for a notable decline before we have that big push to the upside, or look out for an opportunity before a big push to the upside. There's a good opportunity to open up a long position in the midst of this trough, like somewhere here on the 9th to the 10th. On the 11th, we have sideways rotation along a key support level. And it ends, that sideways rotation ends with a fast sudden move higher. There's one local high on a one-day chart for the 11th that forms with a prominent move to the upside that'll stand out on a one-day chart. We revisit past problems, which leads to a decline into with the one local low that we have on the 11th. On the 12th, there's a big move higher. We have a breakout out of the day's low. And a big move to reach a distant resistance level, one local high there, which will stand out, which will form when we have a big move to the upside that stands out on a one-day chart. Looks like these levels will be higher than what we see the following day, so we may have a high here. Interesting. So we open lower on the 15th, and we have sideways fluctuations with a bullish trend, that precedes a decline. So that sideways fluctuating rally looks like it continues into the 16th. There's a swing trade opportunity on the 15th in the midst of a decline off of a brief high, which is a good opportunity. On the 16th, we have a month's crest correlator. This is most likely one of the main highs for the month here on the 16th. And there's an opportunity in the midst of a rally to open up a short position to protect against long positions. I'm sorry, guys. I have somebody talking in my ear. This is so annoying. Jesus. I hate it when that happens. There's two local lows on the 16th. I am taking questions. I'm just in the middle of recording right now, so it would be a little bit before I get back to you lively, but we'll take your question. Almost done with this reading. Okay, so on the 16th, we have two local lows, a breakout out of one of them. We revisit a past problem with a flight to safety and to form one of the local lows, and then the two local highs on the one-day chart for the 16th. Both are going to be prominent moves to the upside to form those highs, and they'll stand out. One will form support at the high. On the 17th, we have a range is highlighted around the 17th. We may be range bound on the 17th, or we may be at the top or the bottom of a range. Likely the top of a range here. There's two local lows on the one-day chart for the 17th. One local low, there's a fast sudden move higher out of it. The other local low, there'll be a prominent reversal, which will stand out on a one-day chart. And there is a swing trade opportunity here as well. There's a swing trade opportunity on the 16th involving a move higher through resistance. We stay there briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level. The swing trade on the 17th involves a big move out of a decline. There's a big move to the upside from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. On the 18th, we have a decline that increases with momentum. We also have notable bearish energy towards the end of the day on the 17th. On the 18th, we have a decline that increases with momentum as we move forward into the day. There's one swing trade opportunity around an important resistance level where volume and volatility kind of peter out for a bit. On the 19th, we have a local high and a local low. Around the 19th, there's going to be a sharp dip within a period of volatility. Between the 18th and the 19th, there's somebody speaking, likely a woman, a female leader speaking overnight between the 18th and the 19th. And then there's a sudden dip within a period of volatility around the 19th. One local high there, which will form when we have a big move to the upside and create support around the high. One local low when we revisit past problems and we have a flight to safety to form that low. That should take place when we have that sharp dip within the period of volatility. On the 25th, a lot of price movement on the 25th, guys. We have a near overbought crest. And it also correlates to the overbought crest that we sell from as the theme card. So we sell from a near overbought crest or an overbought crest here on the 22nd. It looks like a big move. Either we gap up high on the 5th or on the 22nd, excuse me, we gap up high on the 22nd. Either that or we have a big move lower off of the high on the 22nd. There's one swing trade opportunity that takes place when we have a brief high and then a sharp drop off of that brief high. It's a very brief high. Don't miss out on that if you're looking to make some sort of trade there. And this is also a day where we have the opportunity to position ourselves in both directions to play both sides of the market using options. On the 23rd, we have the same correlation, selling from near overbought territory. So it looks like we probably continue selling into the 23rd from that overbought crest. We have a trough, an important prominent trough here on the between the 22nd and the 23rd, in the midst of a big decline. A lot of ground is covered here. Jeez, a lot of ground is covered. And we have a swing trade opportunity in the midst of a brief high. There's bearish price swings with a sharp dip in the midst of those bearish price swings, and a swing trade opportunity in the midst of a decline right after a brief high. Now on the 24th, we have what's very likely another month's high. This is very likely a month's high. Very likely a month's high, a new high or the same high as the one around the 16th. I'm advised to buy protection around this price, the high price level of this high. There's one local high on the 24th. There's a sharp decline through multiple support levels out of that local high. And one swing trade opportunity involving a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly and then we break down through that same price level shortly thereafter. Around the 24th, we should see a sideways S formation form between two horizontal horizontal resistance and support. So a decline from that resistance down to the support, an incline from that support back to that resistance, and then a decline from that resistance back to that support. Somewhere around the 24th. 25th, multiple headwinds push the stock lower. There's one local high. It forms after a notable move on a one-day chart to the upside. But then again on the 26th, after being pushed down on the 25th, on the 26th, we have another rally to the upside. A notable rally, and also offering an opportunity to open up a short position and protect against long positions. There's two local lows and two local highs. So on a one-day chart of the 26th, we'll see two prominent highs and two prominent lows. Both prominent highs will form when there's a notable move higher into them. On a one-day chart, it'll stand out. One of those highs will be after the beginning of a rally, and the other one will attempt to we will at least temporarily establish support around the high. The two local lows on the 26th, one forms when we revisit past problems and there's a flight to safety. The other one, there's a breakout out of the local low, and then the swing trade opportunity on the 26th involves a move higher through resistance. We stay there briefly and we break back down through that same price level briefly thereafter. Again, a month's high correlation here. Very likely another month's high, higher, same high as the 24th. And then we see, again on the 29th, we see a low correlator, a faint trough, prominent trough correlator, but it's faint. And then we have a high correlator again on the 29th. So we probably gap down Either we gap down over the weekend and no. Okay, so we have another higher month's higher prominent crest on the 29th. We fall from that to and through a support level, and then we turn around and we rise back up and reuse that support level as support. There's a swing trade opportunity in there too. In the midst of a move higher through resistance, we stay there briefly and we break back down through the same price level. I'm advised to be very cautious on the 30th. I try to stay away from the prudence card when placing trades. I try not to trade around this card. There's one local high, one local low. The prudence card, usually there's multiple false highs, multiple false tops. Sometimes it's like a fake out of some kind, like a false indicator is triggered. The one local high for the 30th will form when we have a prominent move up. It'll stand out on a one-day chart. Again, with the revisiting of a past problem and a notable decline into the local low for the 30th. On the 31st, we have a correlation to the love card. So we have another move higher through resistance. We stay there briefly and break back down through that same price level briefly after. And there is a notable decline on the 31st. A notable decline on the 31st. It may have to do with something global, something bigger than just Upstart. It's possible, but it's a notable decline. And then again, the sneak preview card for the following month, for September, is out in the midst of a decline. There's an opportunity to open up long positions. All right, guys, that's Upstart for August 2022. If you like this, you want to see more Upstart, hit that like button. Share with your friends, somebody that you think this will help. You could say I am a psychic. Yes, that is correct. Of course, I get a question on TikTok and then my battery dies. What are you going to do? All right, guys. And remember, when you make that money from this reading, pay a little bit of that forward to keep it flowing. Pay a little bit back in gratitude to us right here. Approveb, Cash App. And then the rest of it, do what you will with that. That's the whole of the the whole of the law. Just make sure you do it out of love, my friends, and karma will send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one.